5 time.
Hey guys, all right, so here it is, the finale. This is the last of the comedy series, best comedies, A to Z. We are now at XYZ. We're at the end. So Bobby, this is for you. We're gonna do the top 5 best titles, comedies that start with XYZ. Tell me what you think. This is what I'm getting at. Okay, so here are the nominees. We got Year One, Yes Man, you don't mess with the Zohan, You, Me, and Dupree, Young Frankenstein, Young Doctors in Love, You've Got Mail, Zach and Miri Make a Porno, Zapped, Zombieland, Zookeeper, Zoolander, and Zorro the Gay Blade. All right, so I gotta pick a top 5 out of this, and I'm curious to see if you guys are gonna agree with me. At number 5, I gotta go with Yes Man. There was some parts that were kind of like overacting, but it's Jim Carrey, so you can't blame him or fault him because he's made a career out of overacting. But he kind of overdoes it in here. But it's just the comedy hits. It is so freaking funny, and it makes you really think about the impact of yes, positive versus no, negative. And the ending is just, it's great. The whole thing, it's just, everybody that yes and positivity affects so many people and how it just trickles down to affect so many people, I thought was pretty good premise for it. It was a lot like Liar Liar, but instead of telling the truth, it's being positive and saying yes. So I really like this movie. It's one of Jim Carrey's best. At number 5 is Yes Man. At number 4 is You Don't Mess with the Zohan, because damn it, that movie is so freaking stupid. Like, it is just absolutely one of the dumbest movies I've ever seen in my life, but it is so funny. I laughed my ass off on this movie. I know they kind of like tried too hard towards the end because you really didn't know how it was gonna end. And John Turturro in the end was kind of like getting to me, but either way, I thought from the beginning to the middle and a little bit towards the end, that movie is just freaking hilarious. So You Don't Mess with the Zohan at number 4. At number 3, I'm gonna have to go with Zapped, because it's Zapped. It's Heather Thomas, Scott Baio, Willie Ames. Hey man, you got the Charles in Charge duo, getting together in this freaking raunchy ass 80s comedy that sees Heather Thomas in a whole new light, and absolutely hilarious. I thought it was funny. I thought it was one of my favorite 80s comedies, top 20 for sure. Yeah, so he gets these telekinetic powers that just he just causes chaos with the whole thing. It's very funny. Willie Ames is hilarious in this movie. If you've never seen Zapped, and for you 80s kids out there, you all know what I'm talking about. But if you've never seen it, check out Zapped. It's pretty freaking hilarious. At number 2, I got to go with Zach and Miri Make a Porno. Kevin Smith has his group from the VSQ universe, right? He has his group, Jason Mewes and, Brian O'Halloran, all these guys. He has his core group that he usually works with from all his movies that are all interconnected. He did not really have that here. He kind of stepped out a little bit and worked and collaborated with Seth Rogen, Elizabeth Banks, Craig Robinson. He kind of like branched out a little bit, and because of that, I thought that it brought a hell of a lot more creativity to the comedy and the ad-libbing, because those guys especially wrote Seth and scene stealing freaking Justin Long and Brandon Routh. It just brought something new to Kevin Smith, to a Kevin Smith film, and it brought so much heart. And the ending it just chokes me all the time, of how it ends and all that. It's kind of cliche, where it's going and all that. But regardless, I thought it had a lot of heart. I thought it was a comedic creativity freaking love bomb. I loved it. Justin Long by far is just the GOAT in that movie. I love Zach and Miri Make a Porno. If you've never seen it, you got to check out Zach and Miri. And at number 1, Young Frankenstein. I'm gonna throw Young Frankenstein number one. Mel Brooks, Gene Wilder. Look at the cast. Peter Boyle. You got freaking Madeline Kahn, Gene Hackman. You got so many. Cloris Leachman, awesome. Also another scene stealer. You got so much comedic talent in that movie, and the writing, the comedy, like everything is just strictly on point. Gene Wilder. I love that. I just saw a documentary on Gene Wilder. If you haven't seen it, I believe it's on Netflix. Check it out. You just see how beautiful of a person he was, and how brilliant he was in how he was approaching characters, and how he delivered in Young Frankenstein was just flawless. Him and Marty Feldman, together, who a lot of people don't even remember Marty Feldman, but dude, Marty Feldman was freaking hilarious. You got to see Young Frankenstein. It is so damn funny. The putting on the Ritz is just flawless. And just to think that the studios didn't want that scene, crazy. But check it out. Young Frankenstein, number one. That concludes our comedy series of top fives, ranking them as far as A to Z. We'll see what the next series will be. Bobby, that was for you. I know how much you don't like this series, but it's all right. Leave it in the comment below. Tell me your top 5 XYZ comedies, and I'll see you soon.